I'm Mickey Ferris. I'm the Executive Director and co-founder of Infant Crisis Services. And
I'm Nicole Sukinis. I am the manager of Baby Mobile Services at Infant Crisis Services.
So we are an emergency food and diaper pantry. We've been around for 34 years. There's really nobody that does what we do exactly. And so we provide the basic necessities for babies and toddlers 0 until they turn 48 months. So that is food, formula, diapers, baby food, toddler food. We do it at our main facility, but then we have 2 baby mobiles that we are able to provide and go to the locations that families are actually live around or work around, so that the transportation barrier that generally causes people not to be able to obtain our services is eliminated. And that's where Nicole comes in.
Yeah, so the Baby Mobile was created in response to a need for transportation to get to us all the way to Oklahoma City, especially in counties outside of Oklahoma County, like Cleveland County. And so we've been doing that program since 2013. We've been in Norman for 4 years now, I think. And so our goal is just to get to the families so they don't have to come to us. So the Spud funding is going to go directly towards our Baby Mobile program, specifically in Cleveland County. So just to give you an idea, this year we've served close to 400 in our fiscal year, 400 babies in Cleveland County, most of those being in Norman. We have 3 different sites in Norman that we go to.
So we're totally privately funded, so when folks like you want to do something for us, it means a whole lot to us. You're feeding babies, so you can feel good about the fact you're feeding babies.
Well, I'm Sarah Newsome.
And I'm Billy Graves.
And we are the co-head coaches of Norman North Special Olympics. We have about 50 special athletes this year. We're getting bigger and bigger. We compete in basketball,
Bowling, track, bocce.
and bocce. So we compete in 4 events throughout the year. And then, let's see, our big event is in May in Stillwater. That's the state games.
Yep.
And that's what we work for all year long. That's what we look forward to. But Stillwater's always so much fun because we spend 2 nights. So we're all living together in the dorms. So we eat together, we tuck everybody in.
Make sure everybody gets a shower.
It is chaos, but it's a blast. And so that's what drives us throughout the year.
It's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of work, but
A lot of fun to see the kids and their excitement. And they don't care if they win or lose. They're just out there to have fun.
and a lot of them, they don't get a whole lot of sleepover opportunities, if that makes sense. So this is like a vacation. I mean, it is a holiday. They look forward to it. From the first day of school, they're already talking about Stillwater.
I was ecstatic. I thought that was awesome because I went to school here, went through my high school, and we were doing Spud, and so it's just kind of cool. Like, oh, they're doing something here at school for a group at school, and then making it part of the program that we've kind of built together. I was super excited.
It's a huge blessing, and it's a huge pressure reliever because we're always thinking about, okay, how much are we going to have to ask for this year? I mean, filling out that form, I'm totaling up kids, adults, and I'm looking at the final number, just how much money it's going to cost. We're so appreciative of you guys and Norman North for loving on our kids and supporting us.
Owen Billingsley, and he was born with spina bifida, which is a form of a tethered spine. Usually when a baby's born, they can turn him over and there will be some kind of indicator that he had spinal bifida, but he, as a baby, his spinal cord healed properly on the outside, isn't that correct? On the outside, but not on the inside. And so he didn't have physical markers of the spina bifida. So we had surgery, we had a spinal cord leak, so we had some complications during that. But now, since he's had the surgery, things are progressing, getting better, but internally he's not. So he looks better, but in the inside is where he struggles with his 3 major organs that we're fighting with right now. Spud funds will go towards medical bills. Future, he has a long road of medical supplies that he will, for the rest of his life, that he'll be using.
I was really surprised and it just brought so much joy to me.
I was excited. Ellie was excited. She's been with Spud, so she understood like the bigger picture of it. I mean, I see it from the outside, you know, being at Norman North, and I see it every year, and you know, it's so heartwarming. But when you're on a Spud committee, when you actually work and see it, she was just really emotional and got him all to understand what this is.
Owen was born with, was handed some obstacles and struggles that he's had to go through, and he'll be going through the rest of his life, and it's stuff that he's going to have to deal with, and this gift and what you guys have done and what Spud has done is giving us the tools, and it gives Owen the means to take care of himself and have the means necessary to have the quality of life that, you know, everybody else has. So it means a lot.
Hi, I'm Ashley Payne. This is Gage Payne. Gage was in an accident when he was 2 years and 4 months old. He was born healthy and developmentally on track. His accident caused a brain injury, which then caused a form of cerebral palsy that he has called spastic quadriplegia. It's caused him to have to learn how to eat all over again, have to learn how to hold his own head up, and sit up and walk and everything like that. So he's come a really, really long way. He's exceeded what we were told, things that we never believed because we always hoped for more for him. And he continues to make progress and do awesome things daily. So at first, when he opened his eyes, he wasn't like tracking or following or really, you know, making eye contact. I couldn't tell if he was looking at me or not, and it was a really hard thing to think, what if my kid doesn't recognize me, you know? It's hard to really say. You know, I went from having a 2-year-old kind of to returning to the stages of having a newborn with fully supporting him and learning all the stuff over again. But it's harder for Gage because everything that came natural, it's like his brain interrupted that natural pattern. So he has to work even harder to learn how to do all of those things over again that you don't even think about, like swallowing, you know, making words, moving your feet, having the function and control of your limbs and your hands and all of that. So yeah, it changed everything, but you know, things could always be a lot worse, and we're grateful, so grateful that we have Gage. I remember in the hospital just praying just to have
My
him
name is
still.
Bill McDonald, and I got diagnosed with colon cancer during the summer, and I'm going through chemotherapy right now.
Stepping into something like this we didn't see coming. It's something that you try to plan for, but it's just a big burden. And what the funds would actually help us do is be able to take the costs that those medical funds are incurring, which is not even just the medical expenses, but there's also just kind of the life expenses where Christy's staying at home with him while he goes through chemotherapy, because he's in chemotherapy every other week, and being able to, so that means that she's not working at the hospital. We're having to go back and forth between Oklahoma City and Norman because he's in the hospital 3 days a week, every other week. And so it's just, the funds is going to be able to help be able to address those needs that we have.
No, we didn't know we were chosen at all. We knew we had been nominated because a bunch of people at the school were like, we need to take care of Bo, we need to nominate.
Yeah.
But it was a surprise, and it's a great blessing since I can't work.
And, you know, everybody loves Bo's smile. It's something that we've known for a long time. And through this, sometimes that smile, it's kind of hard to come. He had to go in for a second surgery, and he didn't want to. We got to pull up on our phone, and Lecrae took a video and said, "Hey, Bo, I'll pray for you." And the smile came. And to me, that's the thing, is that was from Lecrae, who we have no connection to. But that same smile came when one of his friends from Whittier came up and played video games with him at the hospital, where another buddy came over and hung out with him after he had chemo. And seeing the Norman community be able to respond, to be able to help him through those hard times, has been a blessing.
Hey, what's going on, Bo, man? Just wanted to encourage you, man. I know you're going through a tough time, but listen, man, you guys' workmanship, God is with you every hour of every second of every minute of every day. And man, just find your hope and your encouragement in Him. Listen, you're a hero to me. Keep fighting, man. Appreciate you. Love you to death, man. God bless you.
Hi, I'm Melissa.
I'm Tyson.
I'm Bella. And our story started the first weekend Jake came home from college. It was on a Saturday. Tyson and Bella and I had done some stuff in the backyard and we were wrapping it up, and Jake came home and really excited to have, you know, everybody back home. And so the next day you had pom
Again, yeah.
you had soccer, you had a soccer scrimmage. Getting on my car, walking out to the scrimmage, and my phone rings, and it's a 580 area code, which is from Southwestern, is my guess. And so I was like, oh, I need to take this call. And so I answered the phone, and the guy on the other end was the OU Medical Center. And so it's the chaplain, and he is like the liaison between the doctors and the family. So he's just kind of letting me know that Jake's in critical condition, and that they're back there working on him, but we couldn't go back at this time. And so he leaves, right, he leaves, and we're sitting there, and at that point when we knew that he was in critical condition, that it was time to make some phone calls. So we called family, we called friends. The hardest calls were to Bella and to Tyson, because I mean, obviously they're still here in Norman and they're by themselves. And the Spud funds, of course there are medical expenses, the Meta flight, you know, that short little ride that he took, it of course will go towards anything, you know, related to the expenses that are that we've incurred.
He impacted so many people, and he was only 18.
He would rather give the accolade to somebody else instead of himself. He would do for others in a heartbeat, but wouldn't want recognition for doing something. And I think that a lot of people can learn from that.
Well, we're just grateful for the fact that we were one of the chosen charities that you all chose, and you know, we'll make you proud for the money that you provide for us, because it's very, very important to us that we reach babies and toddlers in the Cleveland County, and you know, you're making that happen. You're helping us to make that happen.
It's a village. I mean, it's a big old train, and it's only getting bigger. So we're grateful that Spud's going to help us out this year.
For sure.
Seeing it from being on committee and being a part of it, seeing it from like the inside now and like being to get impacted by it, it's just a whole different ball game. It really changes lives.
When it was announced that Bo was going to be a recipient for Spud, it's really kind of cool, because Spud is like a name that like you give to like the whole like the group that like helps people, but like really kind of the crazy thing was like through the halls and talking to all my friends and stuff, like Spud isn't just like a group, like it's like the people at Norman North. And so just kind of like hearing how the people at Norman North care, you know, like it just, I don't know, it meant a lot.
I would say that having faith and hope are huge. People, you know, want to say how strong you are, and I don't feel strong. I feel actually really pretty weak a lot of the times, but I think that God, you know, we have a church family and had lots of prayer and people that just knowing people are praying for your situation and your kid is huge, and that community that we felt really got us through a lot.
At the end of the day, we didn't think this would be our journey and that we would be sitting here. We always thought we would be Spud supporters, not a recipient, but we're very thankful, from the bottom of our hearts, very thankful for this. So, yeah, we definitely didn't want this to be part of our journey, but it is, and we're just go on from here.